Sports 56 and 87.7 FM. This hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Check it out right here.
Ladies and gentlemen, and now,
the 3-time sexiest man in Millington, Johnny Harden.
What is up? Can y'all believe it, baby? Don't you know what's happening, don't you? Do you feel it? It's Wednesday. You've made it this far in the week. Do you feel good about yourself? It's 1 o'clock on a hump day, baby. Johnny Radio's happy hour is in full effect. And I'm going to tell you something. I'm fired up about the day. You know why I'm fired up? I always like to do things that I think are positive. I like to help people. Y'all know that about me. I am, in all honesty, as... I mean, heck, I gotta even show this. Gabe, I gotta show you this scar, man. I've been stabbed. I mean, like, I've had, like some pretty, like I said, I didn't like myself for a few years. But now I'm a grown man with kids and grandkids, and I'm just a big old daggum softy, to be real. Found this conscience and all this good stuff. You know, all these important things that I think you need to have a good society. But we're bringing on somebody a lot better than me, and somebody that I'm extremely proud that I've been supporting for the last 3 years. And I'm extremely proud that his old man, his uncle, and all these people who care a lot about him are getting ready to rock and fire. And we are having the Henry Bell Open. It is the 3rd annual. It's a 4-man scramble. It's at Meadowbrook Country Club. It's September 21st. This bad boy is happening with the quickness. It's the real deal Holyfield. And from here, it's just literally right across the bridge. You can get there in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. It's an $8 entry fee, $320 per team, 100% tax deductible. Cart and course fee are included. First place team gets a cash prize. There's whole sponsorships available, all kinds of stuff. There's the longest drive, closest to the pin. Hole-in-one prize, of course, if you get one of those. There's sponsorships available if you can't get there. I'm going to tell you all about this stuff at 1:30, and I'm going to remind you, Henry Douglas Bell is one of those young men that he's a walking miracle. He was born on August 1st, 2014, 24 weeks gestation. 24 weeks gestation. He weighed 1.0 pounds. He was 12 inches long. Given only 10% chance to live. Well, it's the 3rd annual Henry Bell Open. He is a survivor. He's a fighter. We love this kid. He's been part of the show, and he's been part of y'all. So y'all been helping him out, and I know all the people that want to continue doing that. 8 a.m. registration, 9 a.m. shotgun start, September 21st. Meadowbrook Country Club. It's happening. It's going down for real. And Lance Bell is going to join me at 1:30 today to talk about the Henry Bell Open. It's the 3rd annual. I'm fired up. I cannot wait. Now, I'm also fired up because of what I saw last night. I saw a grandson and a grandfather. Now, I saw pregame walking around on the MLB network. I saw them doing a little filming. Some people were making some comments. One dude even, I can't remember who it was on MLB Network, which one that said it was like, how cool would it be if he has like an amazing game and hits one out? And it was just, it was awesome. If you don't know what I'm talking about, the Yaz, Carl Yastrzemski, his grandson plays for San Francisco. They got the, Yaz, Mike Yastrzemski, he's got the call up. And y'all know Bruce Bochy. Let's just be real. Y'all know he is a big softy. He's also a guy who cares about history. And he played him in left field, and he batted him leadoff. Now, I do want to say this isn't he doing something out of a guy who hadn't earned it. He just hit his 20th home run last night. And to give you a little clarification on how good Mike's year's been, think about what he did. He hit his 20th home run in his grandpa's park where his name is royalty.
The 238th home run.
By a Yaz.
By a Yaz.
His
In
237
Fenway.
by Carl.
Yep.
Yeah, good job, by the way. You pulled that number out. I love that. Good job, man. Gabe, when you do that with baseball, I don't think you understand how big a smile I get. That just makes me so happy. I love it when people care about baseball. But what he did last night was one of the coolest things I think I've ever seen in my entire life.
It was a historical night in general, though.
And I was getting ready to say Kevin Biggio.
Yep, there's another one.
That's what I was saying. Like last night, as much as we want to talk about football, and we are going to, because I'm going to tell you today, we're going to talk about the Lansdale Open. Y'all know it's Wednesday and a hump day, so you know we got my man Jim McCormick from ESPN. He's coming on to fantasy football, just drop all that knowledge on you, get you ripe and ready so you can take care of, business. And man, can you believe it? Week number 3 of the NFL. It's already flying by. But like I said, it still feels hot down here, I'll tell you that much. It doesn't feel like week 3 in the NFL in that situation. But we're going to talk NFL with Jim McCormick. We got Hardwood, we got picks, we got Lance Bell, and I got, again, right now in the first segment, I just want to talk, and I hope you want to join me or hit me up on the First Bank phone line or hit me at the First Bank text line at 67129. That's the First Bank text line, the First Bank phone line. 901-360-8255. That's 901-360-8255, because I was wondering if you wanted to talk about Kevin Biggio doing what Craig Biggio and now only Gary Ward and Daryl Ward have done. So you have 2 father-sons that have hit for the cycle in Major League Baseball. Kevin Biggio last night joined, his father, Craig Biggio, as the only other father-son duo, Gary Ward and Daryl Ward, on the exact same night that Mike Yastrzemski hits the home run to dead center field in the 4th inning in the same place where his granddad played left field. And literally, his granddad is in the Hall of Fame, and his granddad's name in Boston is royalty.
I mean, when this type of stuff pops up, you have to pay attention to the MLB.
You have to.
I mean, when you see something so historical and with a lot of historical meaning, you have to at least point it out. Because not just one, but 2 different things that are sort of just
awesome.
I mean, they're really awesome.
Like,
awesome.
straight up, in all honesty, to be an opposing opposing player, and hit a home run to stretch the lead to 5-1 against their beloved Red Sox, and you're getting a standing ovation, there's a special moment going on right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, and also, I always have to, baseball fans, St. Louis, Boston, New York, a lot of all around the country and a lot of places. Unfortunately, I can't give it to them in Tampa or in Miami because I don't see a lot of fans at the games. But they really seem to get it. Baseball, I just feel like baseball fans really, really get it, and they see what was going on. But I want to ask y'all this, and tell me if I'm crazy. 67129, First Bank text line. And I know y'all already can tell me I'm crazy, but on this one. First Bank phone lines, 901-360-8255. Bruce Bochy, how much does he deserve of the love of what happened with Yaz? Because he's such a big old softy, because he's a historian of the ball of the game, because he is a great manager, in my opinion, he did what he was supposed to do, and he let off Mike. That's where Carl batted. He also put, and by the way, Mike usually bats 7th for San Francisco. That night, he put him in leadoff. He also plays right usually. That night, he put him in left, where, his grandfather roamed. So it was a really, really cool night, and it was, again, a touch of history. But not only of a touch of history, in the 15th inning, San Francisco gets the game, so Bucci is basically, exonerated. You had your man Mike get a double, hit a home run. It was it was just a great night all the way around. Anybody that's a baseball fan the last couple of nights, I'm just going to tell you, man, baseball, it's been a great year to be a baseball fan. Outside of the whole net issue and people complaining about the balls being juiced and all that BS. Maybe they are, whatever. It kind of makes sense, you know.
There's honestly though with stuff like that, it's not a bad thing for MLB to have a little bit of problem, a little bit of you know,
A little talking.
yeah, because without that type of stuff, I feel like the MLB is sort of losing its luster with the young folks.
It is, for some reason, unfortunately, it can't keep them. It breaks my heart. I want them to grab them because, again, last night you had Biggio's now second father-son duo to hit for the cycle. You had not only the Yaz situation with Mike and Carl. You know, by the way, Carl, you know, in the stadium walking around the outfield with his grandson before the game. Did you see any of that? Oh, it was so cool. Like him, you know, he got to see his granddad before the ball game. Fourth inning, hits that home run. But then you also had, guess who was back? Did you see the Yankees last night? Everybody's now kind of freaking out saying, uh-oh. Everybody was kind of saying Houston with Verlander and Garrett Cole. And, oh, man, like, just saying those two scare you when you looked at New York Yankees rotation. But now Severino. Oh, Luis Severino. Zach Greinke, I think he makes you kind of forget about Zach. Like, I take Sevy right now, especially the way he pitched like right now. Now, Zach is the 3 on Houston. But again, and I love Houston's lineup. But dadgummit, let's be real. Chapman, and if Betances keeps coming back, that's a better bullpen than Houston. And they got a murderer's row in New York when it comes to hitting. They can flat out rake like nobody's business. Yes, Houston can hit. Are you kidding me? With third baseman, LSU, my man, Alex Bregman hitting bombs. You got Altuve, 5'0" but hitting bombs over at second. Carlos Correa, when healthy. Yuli Gurriel, all these guys. Springer. I mean, they got guys that can just flat out rake for days. But they also got guys that can pitch. The problem was people were freaked out. They think the Yankees can rake for days, but they couldn't pitch until they got to the bullpen. Uh-oh, not so fast. When you move Paxton down, when Masahiro Tanaka and J.A. Happ are now your 3s and your 4s, whoa, if Sevy can be that number 1, that really, in my opinion, makes the New York Yankees so much more scary. Like I'm actually got fear, and I'm gonna tell you right now, maybe I'm an idiot. Until last night, and if you would have listened yesterday, I didn't give you a play on the Yankees. I didn't know what Sevy was gonna come back and look like. Did anybody know what Sevy, other than maybe the Yankees and their pitching coach, who have been tight-lipped like a mama? You know what I mean? You couldn't get any information out of the New York media on Sevy. Basically, I read pretty much everything I could about it. They're saying he feels good after his bullpen session. You know, oh, this is like, you know, I can go back to where he's throwing off flat ground. I can go to where he's, you know, throwing off the mound, you know, blah, blah, blah. There was never nothing, like, you couldn't read anything, and they said, like, whoa, Sevy looks like he's going to go out there and be the most dominant thing since sliced bread. Well, last night, let's just be real. Sevy was as dominant as sliced bread's pretty dominant. Like, I love some sliced bread. Could you imagine, by the way, like, I didn't realize, I thought sliced bread had been around for at least, like, a couple hundred years. Betty White was born before sliced bread. Dead serious. Look it up.
Do you have a year handy?
Just look that up because it was a Betty White thing on her Twitter. Like, one of those stupid things that pops up. Like, did you know Betty White was born before sliced bread was invented? Like, so, I don't know the year.
Sliced bread came around in 1928.
Yeah,
according to Google.
She was born way before then, I think.
Really?
My grandmother was born way before sliced bread, too.
How old is Betty White?
Man, check it out. Pull it up. You got the computer, Google, man. I'm drinking my coffee. I'm trying to do a radio show here, you know? Like, it's hard talking in this mic.
Yeah, she was. Yep, she's 97.
So, I win.
Yeah.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. See that thing? Hey, all you people out there, Twitter don't rot your brain. Listening to me makes you smarter. But anyway, in all honesty, I thought Sevy came in last night and probably woke up the American League, because when you have DJ LeMahieu, I think right now, who is the best leadoff hitter in the American League, and I'm not saying that as hyperbole. Dude's batting 329. He can hit for power. He can hit to all sides of the field. He can do anything you ask him to do. Last night, just 2 for 4 RBI, a walk, just smacks the ball all over the yard. I just absolutely love him. Then think about it. Aaron Judge is your number 2. And everybody wants to sit there and think of Aaron Judge as just a right fielder who can mash. Have you watched this guy play outfield? 1, he's got a gun. He will throw you out in a heartbeat. And 2, he's so damn tall. How many times have you seen a ball that you thought was a home run and he literally just reaches over and pulls it back? I'm like, damn. Judge is bad. Didi's batting 3rd. He's your shortstop, Didi Gregorius. Gleyber Torres, the young phenom at second base. My man Gabe Coons, high school friend, Luke Voigt. He's DHing. You got big bad Brett Gardner. He's got that big bald head. But my man is cold-blooded. You got Maven. You got what's my man that's playing third base? Gio. How do you Urshela. That's it. It drives me bananas. Gio, I can't even say his name, but I think he's batting close to 328, 29. He's close to LeMahieu. I know LeMahieu's leading the team, but I really think he's right there underneath it. But LeMahieu has a lot more bats. But their averages are very, very, very close. I know that. In fact, I think you are checking it for me. I hope you are anyway. But
Yep. LeMahieu is at 329. Urshela is at 328.
So I was pretty close. And then I haven't even mentioned they have the dirty Sanchez. That's right. Gary Sanchez, a catcher who can flat out rake. And let me tell you something. I'm serious as a heart attack when I say this. The dude can mash. Now tell me, in that lineup, where... Edwin and Kern. I didn't even mention him because I was talking about your boy Luke.
Has Edwin... I want to ask this. I do want to ask this, though. Has Edwin lived up to what you thought he would be in New York as far as the power numbers?
No.
Because he's not even close.
I'm not worried about it because for Edwin, it's about the postseason. Plus you have Luke. I don't think he's quite lived up. But damn it, let me tell you something. If you're a pitcher and you're in the playoffs and you see Edwin in the box, do you know what's a little bit tighter? Everything. Okay, buddy? Everything. You're like, dang, that's Edwin Encarnacion who can rake, yo. So what I'm trying to say is that Murderers Row, that unbelievable baseball team, while we had so many amazing things happen last night, we had the great father-son cycle, Craig and Kevin. Go Bigios, it's your birthday. We're gonna party like it's your birthday. We had the Yaz. We had Carl and Mike do their thing. But realistically, we had Bruce Bochy, who was my hero. Because Bruce Bochy, the coach for San Francisco, because he's a big softy, he put, Mike at leadoff. He put Mike in left field. He put that opportunity on the table, and Mike lived up to it, baby.
That's how you respect the game, Bruce Bochy.
Thank you, Bruce. And then look what you get for respecting it. A 15-inning win, and your boy Mike goes yard in the 4th inning. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Bruce. But the biggest story from the night, in all actuality, has to be Sevy. And it has to be that, Yankees do have a number 1. Because let's be real, Masahiro Tanaka, Ian Happ, James Paxton, they all 2s and 3s and 4s. You know what I mean? But now that you got Sevy looking like the real deal, Holyfield going out there and making Angels hitters look like they just can't swing a baseball bat and are blind. Like, holy guacamole. Let's just be real. Sevy, 4 innings, 4 Ks, 67 pitches, 47 strikes. Looked like a madman. Only gave up 2 hits. Playoffs ready. Check. And that's a scary thought. And that is your baseball in your first 20 minutes of the first segment. I thought that was pretty cool. I don't usually get to talk this much baseball, and it felt so good.
But once you get started, man, I gotta let you just roll.
Just kinda let
right?
it go.
That's your
Yeah.
thing. So like,
It feels good. Now, I do have to say, we are going to come up. We're going to talk tons of fantasy football at 2:00. So get your fingers ready. Hit it 67129. I can only get to so many questions. So start getting them in. I'll ask my man Jimmy McCormick as many as I can. And if you can't get to him, if I don't get to you, he's an underscore guy. He's at underscore Jimmy McCormick. That simple. You can ask him. Those are at 2:00. But coming up next, I got Lance Bell. We're going to talk about the Henry Bell Open. It's the 3rd annual. It's going to be awesome. You're going to understand why it's going to be so awesome. But before I do that, I want to say one quick thing about comedy. Little sidebar. Don't want to get thrown to the wolves. Don't want to get beat up, but I probably will. I'm used to it. People will probably still beat me for Eli. I know they are on Twitter.
first text this morning. I mean, not first text I saw when I came in was about Eli and you, calling you an Eli hater. It seems pretty clear and obvious off tweets that John has never liked Eli Manning for personal reasons. Are you just jelly, or did he?
No,
I'll let you read the rest of that.
Hey, by the way, can I just tell you, sir? Great text. That's a good one. That is a good text, sir. If he did, I don't know. That'd be pretty cool. I'd love to be his Eskimo brother. If you understand the text now. But I do have to say thank you so much for the text. Please keep those texts coming because I do love all of y'all. But I do also want to ask y'all a question about comedy. And I hope y'all know this week we put out there's like this lady. I think it's Yvonne, or I'm going to call her later. She is so sweet. Like, she reached out even to me because she wants to help. Yvonne, I believe, maybe it was her name. But anyway, she also reached out because she wants to help, because we were talking about the story of those 2 amazing football players at MLK who helped out that young man. Do you remember that, Gabe? We talked about that. That's become like a national story. You know what I mean? Like, so there's a lot of good stuff that's going on. And I don't like bullying in any way, especially when it comes from kids and it's rude. But I do have to say that we are getting a little bit soft. Like, I put out a Cam Newton thing, and I thought it was absolutely hilarious. And it looks just like him and Gina Davis. And then I put out another thing like, dude, I'd be worried about my quarterback too if he actually left the house thinking that he looked good that day, because he pegged his pants. He was wearing, his pants up to his like middle of his chest. Again, he had a bonnet, and I keep thinking of that commercial.
Man,
ascot wears an ascot.
You just don't know what, I guess, style is nowadays, man. That's what it's turned into.
I guess I don't know style.
Have you seen Russell Westbrook show up to the stadium?
Yeah, and I make fun of him too, and everybody says that he's got style, and I don't see it.
Well, I mean, what I'm wearing, what you're wearing, if we saw like an actual fashionista in here and they judged what we were wearing, yeah, they'd be.
Yeah. But see, they can jump on us too, because it's all supposed to be, in my opinion, in good nature and fun. I put out a thing from back in the day. 2 snaps and a twist, baby. And I know if you watched In Living Color, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And I was just doing a little bit of clap back. But yesterday I realized, like, Bill Maher, he was making a joke, and it was about, people who are fat. And he was saying that fat shaming should come back. And his joke was, because fat shaming is so dangerous in the United States, it's worse here in the United States than in every other country by far. So maybe it should come back. And maybe people will quit ordering, like a triple cheat quarter pounder or whatever. I don't know. He was saying something funny. And then he went on to this whole thing like, obesity leads to diabetes and heart disease, and then all this. And then at the very end, it was like virginity. Dude was making a joke. So then James uses his spot on his shows. Yeah, James Corden comes out to use his spot on his show late night last night to go out there and go after Bill Maher and say how sick of a person he is to fat shame. But when I watched it, he's making jokes the whole time, because guess what? Y'all are comedians, yo. Like, there has got to be a point where people understand that if there is malicious intent, then that is there is a problem. If you're saying something to hurt somebody, and if you're trying to be mean, that is something that that you definitely don't respect, and I don't respect that person, and we don't like it, and I don't like bullies. But if you're a comedian and you're making a joke, go back and watch Eddie Murphy or Richard Pryor or Dave Chappelle. I mean, Dave Chappelle couldn't be on TV anymore. George Carlin.
I guess I'm just absolutely surprised that he took it so personally. Like, why did you have to take it personally when it's clear? I mean, Bill Maher's a comedian. He's going to make jokes.
Dude,
you don't have to take this. He didn't say your name.
Nope.
He didn't involve you in the joke. There was sort of of course, there's always social media outrage about certain things.
But every show
And
talks
it's just-
about it this
it's
morning, too,
interesting,
which was
man.
so
I
sad.
didn't really get why this was even a story.
I couldn't believe that when I woke up this morning, the first thing that was trending on Twitter I looked at, and it's James Corden and Bill Maher go at it. Doon, doon, doon. And I'm thinking, oh, cool, we got a celebrity fight. But then I thought they were way out of each other's weight class. Oh, bing, bing, bing. I just made a joke. Throw me off the air. I'm a nightmare. I'll be back doing actually good work, because we're going to talk about the 3rd annual Henry Bell Open. I think my audience understands the difference between a joke and reality. We're talking about reality on the other side. So whatever you do, I pray you don't touch that dial. We'll be back. We'll be having some fun on Sports 56, 96.1, and of course 87.7 FM.
Search Sports 56 on Facebook and give us a like. And follow us on Twitter at Sports 56 WHBQ.
Frontier Western Store's world-famous boot showroom is waiting for you. With aisles and aisles of boots in one easy spot, you will find your next favorite pair at Frontier. Everyone loves Ariat boots, and Frontier has over 1,000 pair in that brand alone. Come grab a pair of rugged work boots like the Workhog, or discover an everyday classic in Ariat's Rambler. Tons of other brands as well: Rocky, Dan Post, Red Wings, Rango, Justin, Twisted X, and many more. Frontier constantly restocks and refreshes their lineup of boots, so you're certain to walk out of the store happy in your new comfortable footwear. They have a wide assortment of sizes available for men, women, and children. Work, dress, or play, Frontier's knowledgeable staff will cheerfully help you find the perfect fit. It's boots galore at Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road, Olive Branch, or on the web at frontierwesternstore.com. Family owned and operated, you know it, since 1967.
Hi, this is Troy 5H, owner of 5H Roofing. It's an exciting time to be a Memphis Tiger fan, and we at 5H Roofing have decided to share our excitement. We are proud members of the Tigers home team, which means we sponsor the Tigers athletic department, and we're also season ticket holders to both the football and basketball programs. We will be giving away 2 and sometimes 4 tickets to most of the games this coming year. To have a chance at winning the tickets, find our Facebook page, like, and share our post. The more you share, the more chances you have to win. We also want to give away some tickets to those who wouldn't otherwise get a chance to go. So, you can go to memphisroofer.com or 5H.com and send us a note why you or someone you know should get the tickets. And as always, 5H Roofing is fair, honest, and ethical. We're experts in all forms of roofing for both residential and commercial buildings. 5H Roofing, 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
5H Roofing is what we do. We're here for you.
Today, business happens here, and virtually anywhere. Because today, innovative companies are reinventing the way business happens. And they need people who can keep up. With the expertise and technology to get packages to over 150 million delivery points. So, who can help you deliver the future of commerce? The United States Postal Service. See why we deliver more e-commerce packages to homes than anyone at USPS.com/future.
Got something you want to get off your chest?
You better have a backup plan.
Want to join the conversation?
Someone needs to tell him he has to grow up.
Join us on the First Bank phone lines at 360-8255 or the First Bank text line at 67129. Now back to Johnny Radio's Happy Hour. On Sports 56 and 87.7 FM. This hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
What is up? What is up? What is up? Welcome back to a little Johnny Radio's Happy Hour. I am y'all sports mixologist, and again, y'all, I want you to know, and that means all of you, I love y'all. And if I'm making fun, it's all in jest. I make fun of myself all the time. Don't I say I'm like a idiot like 25 times a day? Or y'all just say that to me and I just read it?
John, I was offended by your fat jokes. I just want to let you know.
Well, you can roll me up and throw me in a trash can later if you want to, because that's what you can do when you're a big guy and you're a little idiot like me who's smart. But you know what? In all honesty, though, we were having a lot of fun. Me and Gabe absolutely enjoy each other's company, so there is no hate. Calm down, people. I won't be in a trash can. At least I don't think so. But I'm about to bring on Lance Bell, and I wanted to talk to y'all. This is the third time. This is the third annual Henry Bell Open. Again, the fact that this young man is still alive, the fact that he made it to just his first birthday is a miracle. So we are literally talking about a miracle, and this young man has been a miracle in more than just his life and his family's life, but a lot of people's life. Lance, how are you doing today?
Man, I'm doing great. What's going on, Johnny?
Man, not much, dude. It's good to talk to you, man. It's been a long time. Is life treating you well?
Well, I guess better than I deserve, man. Just don't get to talk to you enough, man. And look, I'm not go against the whole idiot thing. I personally do not think you're an idiot, but I'm not an expert.
Man, thank you. I appreciate that, Lance. You are such a class act. Now, I do want to seriously, though, I got to get around and I got to talk about this. This is so awesome. I can't believe it's the third year. Henry is getting bigger. And then when you look at these pictures, I just don't even believe it. I can't believe this is going down. And before you get into, like we get into all the situation, it's September 21st. It's literally, today's the 18th. If y'all don't realize how far that is like 19, 20, 21. We got 3 days. See, I'm not an idiot. Woo! Now, seriously, though, it is very important because this Saturday, I hope that y'all can get out there to Meadowbrook. It's going to be an awesome, awesome event. Meadowbrook Country Club. This is going to be a 9 a.m. shotgun start, 8 a.m. registration. It's 100% tax deductible, and think about all this stuff is going to help this young kid and their family. And when you say that they deserve it and they need it, it's kind of an understatement. But before we get into all that stuff, just tell me a little bit about Henry, how things are going, and what's been going on in his life.
Okay, John. Just to go back a few years ago, for those people that don't know about Henry, Henry was born with just 24 weeks gestation. He was 1 pound, 12 ounces, and was 12 inches long. They gave Henry a 10% chance of living. And on day 8, he went into multi-organ failure and, wasn't supposed to make it through the night. And here we are celebrating a 5-year birthday for the kid. So it's a very inspirational story, not to be too heavy, but in today's world where people take stuff for granted like life and health and all those good things, it's just a very inspirational thing. And to see how people get behind Henry and the little lighthouse, the school that helps him out so much, is just a breath of fresh air every year I get to be involved in it.
It really is. It is awesome. I'm just, again, and I was talking just with somebody the other day, and every time I turn on like the news, and I understand if it bleeds, it leads. And I understand that we have a political situation coming around the corner, and people are getting on their sides, and there's this division they say in this country. When I go out in the world and I see all these people, and I live and I go out and I talk to all these wonderful people in Memphis and Mississippi and Arkansas and all around, I just don't see all that division. I see so many wonderful people, from those young men over at MLK last week helping out that young kid, to what you're doing for Henry Bell, to Yvonne, who called me up earlier and just wanted to help. I just see so many people doing so many wonderful things, and I really think there's a lot more love and a lot more good people out there doing things, and that's just what I wanted to give a little attention to. It's not all bad out there, I can promise you that. And like Absolutely. You said, the fact that he's celebrating his 5th birthday, but y'all are celebrating y'all's 3rd year of putting this on. How in the heck did you do this, number one, come up with the idea, and did you ever think you'd be 3 years in?
Never thought we would be 3 years into it. How we came up with it, I got the golf bug here about 4 or 5 years ago, and it just hadn't left me. We were trying to come up with ways. The little lighthouse, the school that Henry went to, guys, this school is special. They take no government money. They're 100% donation. They take nothing from the United Way or any of those kind of those entities. So it's purely supported by people having fundraisers and that type of thing. So they had sent out a letter, man, long story short, looking for money, looking for fundraisers.
Do
So
they
we
say
said,
they're
"Hey,
a
why don't we throw golf
daycare,
tournament?"
or what do they call themselves? I'm just kind of curious. The Little Lighthouse School,
Little Lighthouse
daycares.
Christian. It's a Little Lighthouse Christian school.
Okay, that's what I was trying to figure out.
Yeah, it's for special needs kids. All the kids, a 2-year waiting list to get into school, just for the fact that that kind of treatment is so in demand for kids with that are challenges. And luckily we got Henry in there, there at the beginning. But like I said, they were the ones that were looking for donations, and without taking the government money, we came up with a golf tournament. Had the first one at Meadowbrook, had a second one at the Marion, and now we're back at Meadowbrook. And it's gotten bigger and better every year. We've gotten more and more sponsors. John, we have people call us that we don't even know. People
That's
out of
so
town
cool.
wanting to give money, man. So, yeah, you talk about all the bad stuff out in the world today. There are good people. There are good things. This is one of the greatest things. Something a little bit different I'm going to tell you about. I know I'm talking over you, Johnny, but
please.
Just give me a minute. Last year, I don't know if I got to tell you. I think I texted you after the show. But we had Big Joe Klein come out there and play with.
Yes, you did. You did. You texted me right afterwards.
And for y'all that don't know who Joe Klein is, y'all need to go read his books because he's a living legend. He's coming back to play with us this year. We have a special thing we're doing Friday night at the Country Club. Going to have a little music, a seafood buffet, and some cocktails, and we're going to have a silent auction. In that silent auction, we have a Razorback autographed baseball helmet from the team from last year. We have Joe Klein basketballs. We have a University of Memphis basketball, Norvell footballs, all kind of art, jewelry, and there again, this is stuff that's donated, Johnny. It's gotten so big that we have to make it a 2-day event, which is great. You got to love that.
Man, by the way, can I just ask you, Joe, at about 57 years old now, you would say, seeing him swing a golf club, what is that like?
Man, like a tornado?
I can imagine, man. Like, dude.
His hand is intimidating enough. But the golf club, oof. And
7
next
feet.
one, it's gone.
Man. But anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, he's actually Henry's mom. Her sister dates Joe Klein's son. So Joe's big into this. He's a sponsor and has been helping us for the past 2 years relentlessly.
That is really cool. And by the way, people, I have to interrupt you for 2 seconds because I have to say this. Like, my friend Gabe wasn't alive when Joe was playing. This dude played for, what was it, Sacramento Kings. He was 7 feet tall. Like, what I'm saying is this dude was a monster of a man. Played it at Arkansas, Notre Dame. He was a stud back in the day, but he'll be out there. And this little school, though, this little lighthouse school, what they've done for Henry just seems like it's just so special. And does 100% of the proceeds to the Henryville Open, does it go to the this little lighthouse?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think like last year's tournament, and this is nuts, I forget how many thousands of dollars we did, but it helped to buy what they call a gait trainer, which is basically hooks up to the legs and tries to teach the kid the proper gait to walk with. And that thing was over 15, 16 grand just in and of itself. So this money from this golf tournament goes to buy equipment like that. It goes directly to the little lighthouse.
Oh, and just to see all these people, I know my mom worked with the Shriners. I know Madonna here. This little lighthouse sounds so special. All these people with these big hearts that go out there and do these things for these special needs kids, they go out there and they do it, originally to go out there and help these young people. I'm going to tell you right now, though, these little kids teach you so much about yourself and life and about finding happiness. You'll be surprised how much you'll actually learn from somebody younger and supposedly somebody who, is actually supposedly less than or not as lucky as you. Sometimes I have to just completely disagree because the smiles that they have just to see them walk with their dad, play a little basketball, go out and do something like that, it is an absolute miracle. So it is a lot of fun. And Lance, tell the people right now, because I know, did you fill out up all the sponsors or any sponsorship opportunities available?
We're still accepting sponsorships, Johnny. Absolutely. Absolutely. We have 3 different levels. If people want to know about it, the easiest way is just go on Facebook. You can go to the Baby Henry page. It should tell you all about the golf tournament and about the little lighthouse. And if you want to get a good smile on your face, a good grin every once in a while, you can go in there and watch that kid grin with his daddy. And if you can't smile at that, you have a heart of gold, a cold heart. Let me say that.
Mm-hmm. I know it's hard as stone, basically.
Right.
But that'll make you just feel like $1 million. I can promise you that. But so you said the easiest way is to go to Facebook right now and just look at Baby Henry's Facebook page?
That's right. They can do that. Or if they want to email me, Johnny, email is very simple. It's the Lance Bell, very conceited, THE, Lance Bell, @gmail.com. If they have any questions or any sponsorship information, I can get that form over there to them.
That is the Lance Bell @gmail.com. That's the Lance Bell @gmail.com. Or just go by Facebook and check out Baby Henry's page. It's easy.
Or they can go to my page, John. I'm on there. It's on there too.
Well, I'm going to tweet all this stuff out. I'm going to send all this stuff out on Facebook. And again, don't forget, this is September 21st. It's an 8 a.m. registration. It's only $80 entry fee, $320 per team, 100% tax deductible. Cart and course fee is included. There's one team, which is going to be the first place team, is going to get a cash prize. There's also course prizes for the hole-in-one, longest drive, and closest to the pin. So it's going to be a really fun. And again, you said Joe Klein's going to be out there. And is Henry going to make a surprise little? Is he going to say what's up?
Oh yes, sir.
All right.
Absolutely. Hey, John, you got one time for me to run down these sponsors real quick that I have?
Absolutely. Anything for you, Lance.
Okay, man. Now, these are our corporate sponsors, and these people have donated over through the years and have kept us up. And this is just a few of them I'm going to list right here. If I don't get your names in, please don't get mad. You can call me back later or email me. How about that?
Email us.
Ultimate Apparel, Quality Flooring, Big Earl Farm, The Fogelman Firm, West Memphis Fence, DeWitt Auctions, Foster Plumbing, Vincent Soybean and Grain, Cowling Title, Quality Electric, Premier Bank, and the Arkansas Kennel Club, just to name a few.
Man, and that is literally just a lot of people who have opened up their hearts and their wallets, and they've given to a great young man and a great cause. Thank you to the Little Lighthouse. Thank you to all the people like Madonna and Shrine and Little Lighthouse, all those schools for all these special needs kids. And thanks for people like you, Lance, who are going out there and doing all the work. Some of the grunt work that doesn't get, as much of the love, but you're going out there and getting it organized. And we have great time. We go out and have a great time at this golf tournament, and we do it all for a great cause. It's a win-win all the way around. I hope to see everybody out there on September 21st.
Yes, sir. And, John, like I said, you're still welcome. I got a bag out there for you, man.
I'll see you, Lance. You be good, all right?
Hey, I appreciate it again, man.
Hey, thank you. I'll talk to you next year. Don't you worry about it. That's my man, Lance Bell. It's the Henry Bell Open, and, again, it's going to be here before you know it. Saturday, September 21st will be here. You will be like, oh my goodness, don't miss it. It's this Saturday. Joe Klein will be out there. Henry's going to be out there, and it's for such a great cause. Take yourself just outside of yourself for a minute. Do something for somebody who's an amazing young man. And Henry, congratulations, man. 10% chance to live. Dude's made it to his 5th birthday. That's a baller shot caller right there. That's the real deal, Holyfield. But we'll be back in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. Sports 56, 96.1. 87.7 FM.
Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy get you through the midday with Sports 56 Middays. Delivered by FedEx. Weekdays from 10 to 1 on Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7.
Hewlett & Dunn, nestled on Old Town Square in Collierville, has 4,000 square feet of the largest boot selection in 200 miles. International boot legends Luke Casey, Double H, Red Wing, Ariat, Justin, and Tony Lama. Hewlett & Dunn has rubber hunting boots by Dry Shod, and recently has expanded the selection of safety work boots. Filson Honey Gear, biggest selection in 3 states, and now carrying Duckhead. Western wear, hunting attire, jeans, belts, hats, and more at 111 North Center Street, Collierville on Old Town Square. You need to stop by Hewlin & Dunn? You bet your boots.
Hi, folks. Rob Walker, Infinity of Memphis, and we've got a new Infinity crossover vehicle that has raised the standard of comparison to a new level. Imagine having both sports car performance and eco-friendly efficiency on demand, working together to empower every driving experience. The result of 20 years of engineering, QX50's award-winning variable compression turbo engine is the world's only engine of its kind. Like two engines in one, it delivers a combination of power and efficiency that is truly in a category all its own, and only Infinity has it. You'll never sacrifice performance for the sake of efficiency again. And the new QX50 offers more horsepower than its Audi, Lexus, and Mercedes competitors. Add to that QX50's award-winning sumptuous interior, and you have the best combination of performance and comfort in the mid-size crossover segment.
Infinity of Memphis, and online at infinityofmemphis.com.
Get your gun, Nelly, and saddle up Penelope. It's Western Trading Days at Sunrise Buick GMC. Old-time trading prices on over 700 new Buicks and GMC trucks, and the Sunrise Used Car Corral has over 500 in stock. Branch managers have been told to cut prices to the bone, and remember, you can bring your car to Sunrise Service no matter where you bought it. If you're a good person with bad credit, SunriseMemphis.com will help you put one of your brand on these little fillies. Free hot dogs and Cokes at the Chuck Wagon Western Trading Days, going on now at all 3 Sunrise locations. We make it fun to buy a car again.
It's happening. Wherever plays are being made, tickets are being sold, and fans are lining up. ADP is designing a better way to work. With industry-leading HR, talent, time, benefits, and payroll, more companies rely on ADP than any other HR partner to help step up their game. From small business to global enterprise. See how ADP can help you and your people achieve what you're working for at design.adp.com. ADP, always designing for people.
Now back to Johnny Radio's Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 87.7 FM. This hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
What is up? What is up? Welcome back into a little Johnny Radio's Happy Hour. Believe it or not, y'all have already made it to 148 on a hump day, baby. You're making it through the day. You're surviving the week. And guess what? College football is going to be a lot better than it was last week. At least, I think so. Well, you know what, though? It's kind of a weird. It's kind of a catch-22.
The week 3 slate was awful.
It was
just
awful.
As truthful as possible.
Gambling, though?
Was fine.
I was about to say...
Gambling is gambling, man. You're going to get some good lines. You're going to get some bad lines.
It was the easiest card I've seen in a long time. That was one of the easiest cards. Like, whew. You just don't get that many easy cards. But it worked out well. Things were great. This week, though, there's some real deal action. We're going to talk about it. But before we talk about all this great college football, we're going to get knee-deep in it on Thursday and Friday. Before we get great into it, we got to talk fantasy football because everybody's got to sit their lineups because I know y'all care about yourselves more than you care about anybody else. Let's just be real.
And you know there was some starting quarterback injuries, and we need to figure out who to replace them with.
There were so many quarterback injuries. I almost for a minute thought Cam Kaepernick was going to get a job, and then I thought, no, that's not going to happen.
If it hadn't happened till now, it
ain't ever gonna happen. Stop, please. That was
send in those questions.
FYI,
we have Jimmy
that was
McCormick right here at 205. Send in your questions, your fantasy football inquiries, and we will ask them.
But before we get to this fantasy football inquiry and all this, and I'm sorry that I made a joke, people. I really do want to know what's going on with HBO. What's this whole Florida, Penn State, Arizona, Washington State
honestly,
stuff?
We have been talking about. It's a Hard Knocks style sort of docu-series that HBO is doing. Usually they do 24. It's called 24/7. They've been doing
like
4 years with boxing. Yes. So before these big fights, they go and meet with each boxer's team and see how their training is going. But now they're going to do it with college football. It's going to be called 24/7 College Football, and it starts, let me see if I get this date right, October 2nd, Wednesday, October 2nd. It will premiere at 9 p.m. Central Time. And there's 4 episodes they've announced as of right now. First one is Florida, the week they play Towson. The second is Penn State the week they play Purdue. Third, Arizona State the week they play Washington State. And everyone's favorite, I think everyone wanted this fourth episode, Washington State and Mike Leach the week before they play Colorado. And that's one that I definitely want to see. Mike Leach is an absolute character, and I think he'll make for some good TV.
Okay. Now, I have to say 2 things. This scares me on a entire grand level, and for 2 reasons. One, the fact that California, what's going on with them, and now that New York is now doing what New York is doing.
South Carolina has a proposed bill as well.
South Carolina has a proposed bill. It seems like college football is about to go to war. NCAA looks like all that money is not about to be in your pockets anymore. Ha 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 ha. But like I thought the 24/7 thing. Let's just be real, people. I'm not trying to be. If you're that one boxing fan out there, and I offend you, which I will. I thought this was to bring boxing back. I didn't know college football needed any help. Who knew who Canelo Alvarez was, or Triple G? Like I still can't.
They have done those 24/7 series with HBO since boxing.
No,
since the big names have been around. So I feel like this is something.
The very first one came out. I'm looking at it right now. The very first one it says was 2012, September 4th.
Okay.
So the very first one didn't know that's what
was it.
It says it was Ward and Dawson.
Okay.
So if that's the first one, again, that's right when boxing was in the absolute.
They've had
crapper.
one with Floyd, I believe.
Yeah, they had one with Floyd. They had one with Pacquiao, Algary.
But these are names that they
Canelo.
know. It wasn't. I don't think the 24/7 was ever supposed to bring a whole bunch of new viewership into boxing. I don't think that was the effort.
I think it was at least an effort to try to save a sport.
It was trying. I guess it was trying to sell it, but it was just sort of trying to show the behind-the-scenes look at what that sport is like. And I thought it was interesting. I loved those 24/7s.
I'm hearing what you're saying. You love it, but I'm just trying to say is that's good, but it's also trying to. You have to remember, boxing used to be bigger than anything. Like it was big as like baseball and boxing were like the creme de la creme. Right now, boxing because of. Let's be real, how corrupt it was and how the people in the country just viewed it, and it went to basically down in the crapper when Don King and Mike Tyson, once Buster Douglas knocked him out over in Japan, that was about the end. And then you saw all these just crummy heavyweights. Like literally, boxing almost died. So that's why,
regardless of the situation, I feel like this college football one will be a huge success. Just
okay,
because
so
this is something that people remember when we were talking about Hard Knocks, when we were talking about Last Chance U, people were always
success for who? You're missing what I'm saying is this. I thought again, HBO was almost doing boxing a favor. This to me is going to do. I don't see how this is going to do the NCAA or college football any favors. Like this is going to. Actually, probably stir the pot more for those who don't know much about college football.
Does it matter if it's a favor or? I thought it was about entertainment. That's what HBO is going for. Your viewership goes up. I don't know if they're trying to sell college football. I think what they're trying to do is get an inside look at what it's like, the week before a game. And I can get behind that.
I'm just saying those programs like Florida, Penn State, Arizona State, Washington, all of them, they had to agree to allow them. Those leagues had to agree to allow HBO to come film them. The players all had to sign a waiver to allow them to be put on TV. What I'm saying, though, is this really... And I'm just asking. I don't know the answer. That's what I'm saying. I'm listening to you immediately say it is going to be good. I am, again, you pull back the curtain of anything, a lot of people are going to find things that they don't like, and they're going to start pointing fingers at people that
I say good in the fact for the viewer. It's going to be entertaining. I'm not by any means saying that it's going to be a puff piece or a positive piece necessarily about college football. I don't think it's going to be that. I think there's going to be some negative things that you see from these coaches, but I think it'll make for good entertainment. End of the day, long story put short.
Okay, we'll see. But again, this what is very interesting is, again, I'm trying to go back to where, like math and understanding. You don't usually bite the hand that feeds you. HBO's hand is fed by ESPN just as much. They're attached in cable packages almost all across the damn country. You can say, oh, that's wrong or that's right. No. Like, I've had this argument. I want ESPN HBO only. Nope, we can't do that. You got to get this, and this. They all come together, or you can't get them by yourself. Sorry. I'm like, what? So I don't know. That's all I was. Again, I thought HBO was doing a solid for boxing, and now I'm just kind of curious. Maybe HBO is, doing its own thing. I mean, I think it will be good for the viewer. It just 67129. I just want to know your opinion. I just think to myself, wow. And maybe I am just overreacting, but for any coach who is such a control freak, they don't even let us go to practice at the University of Memphis. I mean, Tubby Smith wouldn't let you come in and see a damn practice, or Josh Pastner, or Coach Cal. You couldn't go and watch a practice, let alone now.
I mean, Mike Norvell has open practices every day.
No. I'm not saying Mike Norvell does. I am saying you had some people who were very, very crazy. And now Mike Norvell has open practices every day. Now, are there not coaches out there who are so crazy that will only let you see the first 5 minutes of practice?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think a lot of places, they know. I think people understand that you're not going to see all great, positive things out of a college football practice. They know there's going to be cussing. They know there's going to be yelling. I don't think that's the biggest issue that they're looking at here. I think what they're looking at is for entertainment purposes, and I think it'll be a hit.
Okay. I'm just saying again, college football, and this is where people are going to say it's now looking, with what you're saying, looks a hell of a lot more like the NFL than it sure does look like amateurism if it's going to be on HBO. But hit me up at 67129. I'll be back at Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7 FM.
Family Leisure has the world's biggest spa sale going on now. Over 50 spas in stock and ready to sell. $8,000 spas now just $44.99. Four-person spas starting at $24.99. Swim spas from $89.99. Huge discounts on all spas. Get the lowest prices of the year with special financing available. It's the world's biggest spa sale happening now at Family Leisure. Whitten Road at I-40, where family and fun come together.
DeSoto Auto Sales specializes in late model cars with low mileage. They have the highest standards in the car industry. All of their cars are test driven, checked out from head to toe. Unlimited inventory, every make and model. And if it's not on the lot, they'll find it for you. Walk in the door of DeSoto Auto Sales, 5704 Goodman Road. Within 45 minutes, you can test your car, get credit approval, and finish paperwork within an hour. No shortcuts at DeSoto Auto Sales. Kind, courteous employees, a down-home environment. DeSoto Auto Sales cares about your time. Lowest prices in a 350-mile radius. We're living in a world today where time does matter. Visit them online. Check out their referrals. DeSotoAutosales.com. Very proud to serve DeSoto County and other surrounding areas. DeSoto Auto Sales, 5704 Goodman Road. Call 662-890-7184. 662-890-7184. Come on down to DeSoto Auto Sales.
125 seasons of Ole Miss football.
On by Doozy, he may go.
Dexter breaks a tackle.
Mike Wallace between two defenders.
The tradition continues.
He's in the end zone. Touchdown, Ole Miss. Breaks a tackle. He's gone down the sideline. Touchdown, Ole Miss. He is a beast.
Saturday, Ole Miss battles Cal. Pre-game coverage starts at 9 a.m. with kickoff at 11. Right here on your home for the Rebels.
Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7 FM.
If you're the owner of a company and you're tired of a dirty office building, or maybe you're tired of dirty restrooms, or floors and carpets that are filthy, or windows that you can't even see through, I've got a solution. Let Trinity be your cleaning solution. Trinity Professional Services. They're putting professionalism back in cleaning. They specialize in stripping and waxing and buffing floors, in cleaning carpet. Just make it seem like it's spring outside. Window cleaning where you see through and everything shines. Commercial janitorial services specializing in final construction cleaning. Hey, the people that own this company, they are big construction people. They know what needs to be done. So if you would like it done the right way, call Todd Pope or Tommy Ferrari, the former Tiger quarterback, at 833-6773. 833-6773. It's Trinity. They're your cleaning solution.
Do you know one of the best things you can do for your employees or family's health? Provide Arctic Clear bottled water. Arctic Clear bottled water is your locally owned and operated bottled water provider. Arctic Clear is 100% natural spring water with free delivery and setup, dependable service, and no long-term contracts. What an easy choice. Call Jeff Manus today, 901-382-2363, or visit arctic-clear.com. Arctic Clear bottled water. Call now, 382-2363. That's 382-2363.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, WIVG-FM Tunica Memphis, and WPG-FLP Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. It's Johnny Radio's Happy Hour.
If you like pina coladas.
On Sports 56 and 87.7 FM.
Check it out right here.
Ladies and gentlemen, and now,
The only man who can make fire with 2 ice cubes, Johnny Harden.
Light me up like a Christmas tree before I light everybody up like a Christmas tree, because I felt like that argument I was talking and nobody was listening, or they didn't understand what I was saying. I just want you to hear me. Welcome back into Johnny Radio's Happy Hour. I am your sports mixologist, John Harden. Gabe Kuhn is chilling with me at Johnny_radio at G_Kuhn71. We are chilling like a villain. And Jimmy McCormick, because it's fantasy football time, and then he's an underscore guy as well. It's at _Jimmy McCormick. We are about to rock. We are about to fire. But all I was trying to say was something as simple as this. I listened to Tim Tebow go banana sandwiches. I know why I went to Florida. It's amateurism. It's not professional. It's not the NFL. You can go to the NFL. If you want to be a pro and you can basketball, you can go to the NBA. You can go to the pro baseball. College is college. I listened to Mark Emmert threaten California. I'm now listening to New York, and I'm looking at like what South Carolina and all of them they're doing. And again, I'm looking at like the SEC handed out $40.4 million in 2016. I can pull those up from straight up. It's like right there. That's a per school. You had the Big Ten in 2018, $50 million for each school. Now people are worried that those days are going to end, or maybe Google or Amazon are going to come in a white horse and maybe they'll like pick it or whatever. But what I'm trying to say is there used to be this huge vault that ESPN used to just pull all of its money from and give it out to SEC and all these big programs and stuff. But they did it because they didn't have to, spread the money around to everybody. They didn't pull back the curtains, like I've said, and show what all goes on. They keep saying that these students are amateurs. And all I was trying to say is it's kind of weird if you have Mark Emmert who's screaming, "We're amateurs." And you got Tim Tebow screaming, "We're amateurs, we're not pro." I just thought that HBO, who does the NFL Hard Knocks, pro boxers, they don't do amateur boxers, pros. Now they're going to do college football, and they're going to pull back the curtain. And I'm just saying that most people are going to look at what these guys are doing and say, that sure don't look very amateur to me. They're doing it all for free. And that's why I found it very confusing that people in the Southeastern Conference, in the Pac-12, in the Big Ten, part of the NCAA would sign off on something like this with HBO. That's what I was trying to say, because it does one simple thing. It just takes you farther and farther and farther and farther away from amateurism. That's all I was saying. Hope y'all understand it.
Yeah, and I'll leave it at this. I think people understand that. I think people know that we're moving away, and I think people know what it somewhat looks like when you pull back the curtain on college football. I think they understand what they're going to see. To the extent I don't know, they probably don't know what each coach acts like, but at the same time, I just don't feel as strongly. It sounds like you just feel as if the NCAA and these schools are making a mistake.
No, I'm laughing that they want to fight. What I was trying to say is, how can you have Delaney and Emmert and Tebow and everybody who's a college football guy stand up and scream amateur.
It's
And
not everybody. It's not everybody.
Not everyone, but the guys.
It's honestly a minority.
The 3 guys that I mean,
it's a minority of
okay,
people.
the president of the NCAA,
and he's always going to say that.
Okay, Tim Tebow, who's not the most recognized NCAA spokesperson. Period. Anyway, I'm just trying to say they are screaming.
They're not
amateurism.
the only ones though that have a voice in this thing. And I think they're moving away from this. And I think people understand that. But we are moving on.
We
need to move on.
Jim, what's up, my man?
What's up, guys? How's it going?
Dude, tell me I'm not crazy.
No, you're not crazy. I mean, look, every other tweet I see from like a big sports program, like Duke just showed off like what looked like a $3 million family room. And I was like, what is this? You know, like spinning televisions and like Sub-Zero fridges. And I'm just like, okay, like this is amateurs. Like, so I understand it's not a simple solution, but there's going to have to be something that changes. But I also agree that we are, I think you're both right. I do think that we are starting to trend in that direction.
Gotcha. Dig it. I like that answer. Good job. I was just trying to say, and like I said, I'm not celebrating anyone. I was just trying to point out is I don't know how Mark could like literally sign off on this while also still standing at the same podium and saying, we're amateurs. You know, that just sounds very counterintuitive and counterproductive because we all seen The Wizard of Oz. We pull back the curtain, and guess what? Wasn't it just some dude or something? I don't know. I don't remember. I didn't really watch Toto. Or what's her name, Dorothy?
The Olympic committees are the purest people in sport.
Yeah, they're so pure. That's right. I love Jim McCormick for that reason. But you know why I also love you? You make my fantasy football team better. And we got people everywhere out there. Hit us up at the First Bank text line 67129. It is Fantasy Hump Day. We love talking football, and quarterbacks are falling to the wayside. Like, holy bejeebies. What are you doing right now? Are you freaking out? Are you caring? Or are there just so many deadgum decent quarterbacks actually out there that if you can't pick somebody out, then you must be in a 2-quarterback system?
Kind of. I mean, look, every league operates different, right? There are leagues.
It's a good point.
Like this is the kind of season with these two like very high impact injuries between Ben and Breeze. It does affect all these skill players, but you're right. Like there's these leagues where a lot of people have 2 quarterbacks. And
I was going to say, my buddy has, just to interrupt you.
You get that weirdo friend, right, who has 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Right? Who like hoards. And there are the hoarders. And like, you know, like every year those hoarders never win. This might be the year the hoarder gets his gold. You know, like
it might be.
This might be the year that hoarder, that quarterback hoarder that's been doing it for 12 years finally gets the trade. But like, I do think that there should be a little bit more movement in the quarterback market because of what just happened. But at the same time, you can still stream if you have like, for example, you know, Josh Allen is still a guy if he's out there like that I'd play.
Man, Josh Allen's actually been a lot better than I expected. But the one I wanted to ask,
rushing touchdowns
dude,
since the start of last year. That's the most of quarterbacks. It's the 5th most of skill players.
Would you rather have Josh Allen or Jimmy G?
I'd rather have Josh Allen because of the rushing, but I think those 2 guys, that's a good example. Like Jimmy G's a guy that I like because, look, they run a lot of no huddle, they move the ball, and look, they're at home this week against a Pittsburgh team that might be kind of like wilting.
Like dead.
Yeah, it might
be real.
But I don't even hate Mason Rudolph, to be honest with you, only because like Ben looks so bad to me anyway that like, I don't know. And here's the other thing, too.
Just tell me you don't like Cam Newton, right?
I don't like Cam Newton. No, I mean I don't like him fantasy-wise because like the only thing that like I said I finally have something in common with Cam Newton. We both don't run. You know, like he just doesn't run anymore. He hasn't run since the end of last year.
Speaking of runners, what are some good streaming options at running back? Because there's a lot of guys that were drafted pretty early. Look at David Montgomery and Joe Mixon in the first 2 weeks have sort of been lackluster. Are there any good streaming options out there that may work for the back half of the season?
You know, it's tough. I think like this week, like I'd get back on Dorman Thompson. It looks like there's some stuff happening in Kansas City. It might not be a long-term solution, but like, you know, Shady just had an MRI. He's kind of shaky to play here. There's not a ton of, you know, here's a crazy name for this week. If you're streaming, Frank Gore from the grave.
Every year he pops out somewhere.
Singletary's not good. You just can't kill this guy. The fantasy zombie. Singletary's probably not going to play, or at least doesn't look like it. He hasn't, you know, he has a hamstring going on, and like a young speedster, you might want to sit him down. So I just think Cincinnati's a good setup for Gore to get like one of those classic Frank Gore, like 20 for 81 in the touchdown type games. it's tough. I think like if Kenyon Drake gets dropped in your league, not that I'd stream him, I do think there's a chance he gets traded at some point, and it's almost like anywhere else would be an upswing. So, Rex Burkhead is averaging 75 scrimmage yards a game. I know he's not like very like helpful in terms of like high end, but he's a high floor guy. He's going to get 10 to 12 touches in the New England offense.
How bad did Austin Eckler hurt himself fumbling that football last week on his only goal line carry?
I don't think he hurt himself that much, honestly. I mean, like, look, Gordon had some fumble issues before early in his career. Not that he's the same guy, but like, I just think there wasn't a huge punishment for it, right? They don't have really an alternative in the passing phase. Like, Justin Jackson might cut into rushing work, but this is Austin Eckler's like receiving show. And look, like with the injury to Hunter Henry, Mike Williams only played 25 routes last week, so I just think Eckler is still in the driver's seat. He's still an RB1. Congratulations to whoever got him, because he's suddenly like, honestly, he's an RB1.
Interesting how Eckler, like I said at the beginning of the year, will be an RB1. Oh, I love being right. By the way, also
we'll see what happens with Gordon. We'll see what happens, but enjoy it for now, because like I think you should look at fantasy football sometimes with like a microscope, not a telescope. Like, don't worry about that right now.
Exactly, but I wanted to ask you also though, what about Dalvin Cook? They're playing Oakland. Seems like it should be something simple. It could be just he's top 5 this week, right?
Oh yeah, in like early August he was like plus 2,500 to win the rushing title. Like, oh my God, can I get a time machine? Like, he's just looking. He looks great right now, and it is actually an old school kind of mentality with Zimmer. I think they're going to pound the ball.
I do too. I think they're going to keep on doing it. He's been killing it. But speaking of further, some of the running backs, who have been the ones that surprised you, and who are the ones that have been like surprisingly disappointing?
I mean, look, disappointing, there's plenty. I mean, like James Conner hasn't been great. He has a little bulky injury, but he hasn't really shown up, right? Like, and Jalen Samuels is cutting into his snaps. He's going to play this week. Devonta Freeman, he has these flashes, but again, like, I think people who were kind of banking on that 3rd round pick to be like the Devonta Freeman of old, I think he might pay off a 3rd round pick or a 4th round pick, but I think the hopes that he was going to be like an RB1, I think that's kind of over. And then look, not that we have to panic, but let's see what happens in New Orleans. With not that Kamara is like a sell or anything, but it's a lot different when he's catching 120 or 100 balls from Drew Brees. We'll see. It's going to be this goofy Taysom Hill, Teddy Bridgewater hybrid, right? So who knows? Like, the running back market still hasn't really fully materialized, right? Because it's only 2 weeks in, but there's been a lot of bad stuff going on. I mean, like, here's another one streaming wise. This is because I thought about it. Is Chris Thompson. I really like Chris Thompson in the PPR league in Washington. If they're going to do anything, it's going to have to pass the ball a lot.
So is this going to be Eli's best week ever since he's not starting?
Hey, man, it's my favorite movie, Weekend at Eli's. Like, they were propping that guy up. He can finally take a nap. I've never seen a quarterback pick his successor. I don't think enough people talk about that, about this whole weird Duke-Manning brothers connection. That's where they have their passing academy.
Yep.
The Duke coach is their leader, is their passing, director. So it is incredible. The Manning did it again. They orchestrated the league again.
It's crazy. Now, you did already mention David Montgomery with Washington. David Montgomery with Chicago, who's playing Washington. Yeah. Now, I want to know about Washington. Who do you like that actually plays for Washington and trust? You mentioned a little bit of guys. We've seen,
Thompson, but
I was going to say, you got Kimbrough out there, but then don't forget, they still hand the damn ball to the old man.
I like Scary Terry out there, the receiver, the speedster from Ohio State. I think like he kind of served like the chain mover role that Michael Thomas served in Ohio State. And
Interesting.
I think there's just something there with McLaurin. Like, I just think there's something to like about it. He's getting the ball. Here's a good site for people to go to. If you guys want to tip, just Google Air Yards. It'll take you to a website, airyards.com. And
Air Yards?
Air Yards. And just click the tab, Air Yards data, and what it'll show you is who's leading the league in air yards. For example, Keenan Allen has 40 air yards, which means that's how much the ball has traveled in attempts to get him the ball.
I dig that.
And it's important because you can find gaps. Like, you can find a guy like not all targets are the same. So, for example, like, the reason Christian Kirk was a good breakout candidate this week, or Demarcus Robinson was because their average targets were traveling 17, 18 air yards a target. You catch 1 or 2 of those are the ones that break you. Those are the ones that get you the fantasy points. So I just think there's these tips that we can use to look for guys. And to bring that up again, the Washington speedster that I'm talking about, he's like somewhere in there. He's top 10 in the league in air yards. He's right there with the big names. So I think that's some just cheap, easy data that we could use to help us.
Is speaking of another speedster, John Ross. Is it fluky what he's done for the first two weeks of the season? I mean, he's the second-ranked fantasy wide receiver.
It feels like it is because of his pattern before, right? Like his pattern earlier last year when AJ Green went down, he would catch a touchdown, but it'd be one catch for 8 yards of touchdown. The difference here is he's getting he's leading the team in routes run. He's got 73 routes. He's getting wide receiver one type usage. Again, I talked about air yards. He's right up there in that too. He's averaging 17 air yards a target. So he's not getting targets that are 5-6 yards downfield. His targets really matter. They're high leverage targets like Tyler Lockett type usage. So, but more volume. So I'm into him, honestly. Like, I think he's valuable. Like, I would have picked him up, and if not, I'd be fine paying a little bit of a price to get him, like, even if it's cheap. Like, I think there's something there. Look, I think he's got 8 touchdowns in the 9 games he's played without AJ Green.
Nasty.
3 in the first 2 games.
Yeah, and like it just looks, in the tape. I mean, like it's one of these things where the stats can speak to us. But like if you have Game Pass or you just bring up his highlights, like the speed we always know is there. He's in the 100th percentile, by the way, of speed. He ran the fastest 40 in the history of the combine. He ran a 4.22. So it's like this isn't a normal athlete. This is Deshaun Jackson getting volume. This is young Deshaun getting work.
All right, now I got to ask you about the ones again. I'm getting them coming in about the quarterbacks. The guy who hoarded, he's probably going to actually be lucky. Everybody knows that Patrick Mahomes is the man. But I want to ask you, because Tom Brady is still doing it his age, and he's doing it with his arm, and now Antonio Brown is there. Is he elevating himself? Who is, who started this year, who actually you kind of just really weren't in there? Is it like Lamar Jackson? Who is out there that, who's like, dude, I want to grab this guy because I didn't expect this to happen?
Yeah, well, I mean, Lamar's an obvious example, right? I think it's going to be almost impossible to pry Lamar away from one of his managers, right? But Brady's a great example. Brady was going as like a QB2, right? He was the 17th or 18th quarterback drafted on average. You had guys like Winston, and you had both rookies. You had rookies going ahead of him. Kyler Murray was going ahead of Tom Brady.
Kirk Cousins was going ahead of him.
That's
was
what
crazy.
I mean. He was in that glut with like the Rivers and he was a so. In any case, he was dismissed, but now he's back, obviously, and the offense is back. It's funny, in July we were asking who's Brady going to throw to, and now we're asking who's Brady going to throw to, but we did it in a much different way. So it's like, it's incredible, and even with all this bad kind of juju, no pun intended, with the AB stuff, I still, look, the evil empire, like, they're building the Death Star again. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Now, let's say you've had, like, the worst luck in the whole world, and you've lost, your quarterback in Indy, and then you lose your quarterback in Pittsburgh, and you lose your quarterback in New Orleans. Do you like Bridgewater, Rudolph? Do you like Brissett? Who do you like better this week going forward?
Of all those names, it'd be Rudolph. I wrote him up for ESPN in a streaming article that I do.
So you believe in
because,
Mason?
I really try to pick streamers who actually will be available, like guys who actually are on your waiver wire. And look, San Francisco, we don't know if they're real yet, but the point total for that game's not so bad. I went 46, not like the worst. I know they've been playing well, but here's the thing. I like Juju too. I'm not running from Juju. If somebody wants to panic and you can get him, I don't hate that. And the reason I like him is because 26 or 20, I know it was a small sample, like 27% of Rudolph's targets went his way. He was only getting 19% of Ben's. Like I said, I didn't think Ben looked that good. I could have been wrong. He could have put it back together. But his elbow probably was hurt before the season started. And so he wasn't going to be right. So I actually don't hate Rudolph as like a streaming kind of QB2.
So do you think Juju's production will stay at least somewhat on par with Mason Rudolph?
Yeah, I think it's going to stay in, I don't know if here's the thing. Ben made a lot of big throws last year. Like, PFF has a stat, big time throw. It's kind of amorphous, but the idea is a 15 or plus more yard throw that's high leverage and you complete them. He had 30 of those. I'm not sure if Rudolph's going to be able to deliver those big down-the-field plays, but I do think the volume will still be there. What I'm trying to say is, it's better than I think what's going to go on in New Orleans. I do think Teddy could be in a little bit of trouble. I could be wrong, and I think next week we'll be talking about how well Teddy played. But, for example, this week, he's going to get under pressure, and he hasn't played well under pressure before.
I want to know actually about the Pittsburgh, since you keep telling me that Mason's so good. I want to know, do you believe in Vance McDonald? I used to love VD back in the day, and I'm talking about Vernon Davis, dadgummit. Okay? Now, I like Vance McDonald, but do I like him with Mason Rudolph? And listening to you, I should still hold on to him.
Yeah, that's like, look, I'm not trying to say Mason Rudolph's some special guy. I'm just trying to say I don't think he's going to tank this offense in the way that maybe some other backups might, right? Like, I don't think this is the worst setup, for example. I think this transition was coming eventually anyway. Not this year, but I'm saying this is their guy. Let's see what happens. I'm just a little bit higher on him, I think, than some people. But I think Vance will be fine. The biggest thing with Vance is is he going to be on the field enough? He usually only plays 56% of the snaps, but look, last week he was a big target for him. So, again, I'm not running away from the shares. I'm more kind of disappointed with James Conner shares so far. I think that can hurt a little bit more.
Well, I'm worried also about Greg Olsen. You got to tell me about him. One, he's questionable, and two, he's got Cam, and I'm worried about Cam.
Yeah, well, I mean, so far, like, almost in a weird way, like, what's bothering Cam is actually going to be okay for Olsen because he's going to be his intermediate target. Like, Cam can still throw those 10 to 15-yard strikes. He can't get the ball deep, and he never has had too much touch short. So, I love Cam, like, in his prime, but I just think that this might be another season where his body's just not going to deliver the kind of plays we need because we know he's not going to be a rhythm passer where he's not going to complete 70% of his passes. He's going to be a home run kind of threat, and, like, the home run ball might be gone. So I don't mind Olsen. I know he's hurt, but tight end is a wasteland, as we know, after the first couple guys. So I'd be open to it.
I mean, at least Cam's leading the league in bonnets worn. Because, good Lord,
It's true.
those outfits have been weird. But we're getting a question here about Houston running backs. You got Duke Johnson, pass catcher. Carlos Hyde had, I think, 20 carries over the weekend. Who would you start as a flex play?
I would still play Duke if we're doing anything like PPR-wise, but again, these coaches don't care about our fantasy teams, right? Like, this is another committee approach where they're kind of splitting this work down the middle. Like, Duke's role, we thought the appeal of Duke this year was he's going to increase his rushing work but maintain the passing work, which he was one of the best receiving backs. He averaged like 60-some receptions the last 3 years. Unfortunately, Carlos Hyde is on his like fifth team in 12 months, and he's playing okay. And they trust him. And so it doesn't matter what we think. If we can sit here on Twitter and scream about who's better, they're going to play Carlos Hyde. I would still play the receiving back because he had a couple targets that were 15, 20 yards downfield. And I don't think it's going to be, for Houston, it's going to be the same kind of slop fest it was with Jacksonville.
All right, I got a couple people. I'm going to do a little quick one. Are you ready to rock and fire?
Do it.
Evan Ingram, starting him, or are you starting my man Delaney Walker? You got the Tennessee Titans tight end at Jacksonville.
Yeah, we're going to go with Ingram. It's a new live arm, right? Let's see what Jones can do.
See what Jones can do. I kind of like that. Let's see what Jones can do. Speaking of, can we see what the Jones is trying to keep up with the Joneses? Antonio Brown. Is Tom Brady going to be able to keep up with the Joneses in the aspect of Ben Roethlisberger and keep Antonio Brown with pass catches? Is he going to shoot up the board for you? Like, is he now a top 5 guy again?
I don't know if the volume will exactly be there, but I do think the touchdowns will. Like, I could see him catching, 12 to 14 touchdowns. So he's going to be a wide receiver 1, but he's not going to be the same. I don't think he's the lead in targets the way he did with Pittsburgh. So it is not Pittsburgh Antonio Brown. But considering that, like, 2 weeks ago, if you drafted him, you were wondering, what was happening? Like, is he going to just retire and be on Instagram? So, like, it still worked out.
How come you haven't been talking about Galladay?
I like Galladay. I think he's fine. This week I like him a lot because I'm an Eagles fan and our cornerbacks aren't that great. So I think you can beat these corners deep. I think Galladay will be there. I think the fear with Galladay this year was, like, run with Detroit, but Galladay's putting it together, to be honest. And, like, Stafford usually does lock in on one guy each year.
Is he the number 1 guy in Detroit?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Like, there was a debate. Like, if you take the last 16 games, it's almost equal, like, routes and targets and all this stuff with Marvin Jones. But as we get closer, like, shorten the sample, the last, 6 to 8 games, he's been the number 1. He's been getting 25% of the targets, which is kind of where you want to be if you're a wide receiver 1.
Sanders, Gore, Hyde.
I'm going to go Sanders. I mean, he got a lot of touches last week. He did. And he's going to get some receptions. Number 2 there would be Gore, just because, like I said, I don't mind his situation. But like I said with Hyde can get you 25 carries, but he's not going to touch the ball in the receiving game. If he doesn't score a touchdown, then you're kind of like left out with just like 80 yards.
That is probably true. Who is one of your favorite sleepers that we haven't talked about?
I don't know. Let me think.
I know you're a big Josh Allen guy. I know you love Josh Allen.
I like Allen, but honestly, John, let's talk about here's a weird one. If you're in a deep league, Cole Beasley's actually been like a flex player. he's getting the ball like more downfield than he did before, but he's averaging 80 yards a game. Like, I'm just saying, Josh Allen's averaging 250 yards a game right now. He's not like he's on pace for like a pretty normal quarterback season plus the rushing. So maybe it's a short sample size, but like I think this week against Cincinnati, he's not the worst streamer. And then John Brown, if you want to get a hold of him, he's getting, again, go to that air yards thing. He's like number 2 or 3 in the league, John Brown, in air yards. John Brown is like going to have a really good season.
I feel you there. Who do you want in Denver? Do you want Phillip Lindsay or do you want the other one, Royce Freeman?
I want Freeman. Honestly, it looks like one of these things where, you know, last year everybody was betting on Freeman, and this year we were paying the price to get Lindsay back. And like honestly, the tape, like Freeman looks like he made the leap, and Lindsay looks kind of like he's the same guy, which isn't a bad thing. But look, last week the whole thing was that Freeman never got in the field for passing downs. Last week he ran 21 routes, Lindsay ran 23. They each got 7 targets. It's a split, but he's the better player, Freeman.
I did have somebody ask me about Raheem for San Francisco. I didn't even mention him. He is a sit, right? Because like I got him and Jamal Williams basically as guys that I'm dropping almost.
It's weird. It's weird because like, you know, everybody was so excited about Breida, but like, you know, he's had like 3% of his touches have come in the red zone. Like he's not getting the ball in the red zone. He's like a 20-20 guy. And then Moser is the receiving back. He's like their Coleman. And now today they just came out and said that guy Josh Wilson is their goal line back. So it's kind of a mess. Again, we're in this modern NFL where coaches truly don't care about your fantasy team. Not that they ever did, but coaches used to concentrate more touches to one back, right? Like we remember when guys would stay on the field the whole game. Guys don't stay in the field. It's like the bullpen now. You know how annoying it can be to watch baseball, and it's like a lefty specialist, and then, well, that's what football is happening. They're exchanging these special packages. Look at the Eagles. Like everybody just rotates out and plays their role. I still think we can find value in those splits. But this is why we want to chase those feature backs. That's why we said that this year, because there's only like 10 of them, and they're really important.
They really are. Now, the last thing I want to ask you about my man, Tony Pollard. I was really excited before the year started, but basically he's a no play now that Zeke's back, right?
He's purely a handcuff, and he's not even like one of the best handcuffs, right? Like, because we're not sure like that he would take a ton of the rushing. He'd be a nice receiving back, but like, you know, that's what he is. He's a handcuff behind. You know, he's like a Ty Montgomery. He's a good handcuff.
Man, speaking of handcuff, he's the best handcuff. He is Jimmy McCormick. Whenever you have a question that you need to get answered, all you have to do is go to your Twitter account. Everybody has a smartphone now. If you got Twitter, go and follow @_Jimmy McCormick. Bing, bang, boom. Once you follow him, he's such a kind guy. He'll probably follow you back. You got any questions, just hit him up. And guess what? He'll answer them for you just like we do every single Wednesday right here on Sports 56, 87.7, and of course 96.1. Jimmy, I really appreciate your time. You got anything you want to tell the peeps?
I just want to say, everybody, like, let's enjoy Jalen Ramsey's. Who knows if he plays? But let's see what happens with the Jalen Ramsey derby. I'm excited, and I'm ready to rationalize it if the Eagles overpay.
We're ready to see it. Good luck with your Eagles, Jimmy. We'll talk to you next Wednesday, brother. That's my man, Jim McCormick. I'm always late for a break. Remember, MemphisFarmers.com. That's MemphisFarmers.com. Ain't nobody playing like Chad Gatlin does. We are farmers. Dun, 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 dun. MemphisFarmers.com. This is Sports 56, 96.1, and of course, 87.7 FM.
Take Sports 56 with you on your phone or tablet. Download our official Sports 56 app today.
Hi, this is Troy Five-Ash, owner of Five-Ash Roofing. It is that time of year where the weather is unpredictable, and given the recent storms, it's a good time to discuss insurance claims. So here's a few things you should know. Always hire a local contractor, because if you have a problem with your roof down the road, you want to be able to find him. Never allow anyone to pressure you into signing a contingency contract. They're used as sales tools, making you feel committed, and the truth is, those contracts are not worth the paper they're written on. Be careful of door-knocking salesmen. Some are reputable, but many are not. They canvass the neighborhood and tell everyone to file a claim, working their percentages and not caring if you file a claim even when they know the likelihood of it being approved is low. Some will even damage your roof hoping to convince the adjuster it's storm damage. That's fraud, and contractors have gone to jail for that. So do your research and know who you're hiring. Five-Ash Roofing, the official roof of the University of Memphis Athletic Department. Fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Five-Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Dirt
Dirt happens, as well as debris, dust, and damage. And when they happen to you, you need good, clean, fast service. You need Hilo Commercial Services. Hilo specializes in construction, commercial, food plant, and industrial cleaning with customized service just for you. Hilo is also an expert at high dusting to clean hard-to-reach places. When dirt happens, call Hilo Commercial Services, 901-277-6733, or visit HiloCommercial.com. Hilo Commercial Services, good, clean, and fast for you.
Starlight Lounge presents An Evening with the Progressive Box.
I took a bit of a risk singing that song, but of course the one place I never take chances is the road, where Progressive Snapshot rewards your safe driving. A good driver plus Snapshot equals big discounts. And speaking of math, 1 + 1 = 2, little too late.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Snapshot not available in California, North Carolina, or from all agents.
Memphis Madness returns Thursday, October 3rd to FedEx Forum at 7 p.m. Tickets start at just $5. That's right. You get to see the University of Memphis men's and women's basketball teams, former players, the mighty sound of the South, and maybe even special guests, all for just $5. If that's not enough, the Blue Carpet Experience starts on the FedEx Forum Plaza at 5 p.m. And that is a free event for the entire community. So get your tickets today at GoTigersGo.com. Memphis Madness is presented by Ashley Home Store.
When you're well-dressed, people say,
Nice suit.
when you're best dressed, they say,
Nice suit.
The JCPenney Men's Best Dressed event ends this week. Don't miss 50% off men's select suit separates, sport coats, and dress pants from Collection by Michael Strahan, Stafford, and JFJ Farrar. And for big and tall guys, shop Shaquille O'Neal XLG and more. Plus, get an extra $10 off your $25 purchase with coupon. JCPenney. Offers valid 9/19 to 9/22. Exclusions apply. See store or jcp.com for details.
Got something you want to get off your chest?
You better have a backup plan.
Want to join the conversation?
Someone need to tell him he has to grow up.
Join us on the First Bank phone lines at 360-8255 or the First Bank text line at 67129. Now back to Johnny Radio's Happy Hour.
Kick it over here. Kick it.
On Sports 56 and 87.7 FM. Here's your host, John Harden.
Gold and shackles, ball and chain. Listen to the whistle of the evening train. You know you bound to wind up dead. You don't head back to Tennessee jet. The rich man step on my poor head. When you get back, you better butter my bread.
Speaking of butter and bread, welcome back to Johnny Radio's Happy Hour. I'm about to butter your bread by giving you a little hardwood and talk to y'all about chicken sandwiches with donuts. Yup. This world's going crazy with chicken, man. Like we had the Popeyes chicken scandal. 2019 is the chicken scandal year. They ran out of buns and they were so mean they told us to BYOB, bring our own bun. I brought my own beer and they threw me out. Such BS. Hey, I didn't know it was bring your own bun. I thought it was bring your own beer. I was ready to rock
I
the
know
fire.
they say that, but how would they act if someone actually did bring, like...
Actually their own beer in
Yeah,
there?
no, their own buns. Like,
Oh, actually, I don't know. That would be funny. You
yeah,
wanna-
like,
it would-
it's like, wouldn't you want to sell a biscuit? Like,
It's a
aren't
good
you
point.
sort of losing money, right? I don't know.
Well, I will tell you something. It is interesting. I did look this up. The chicken sandwich is $4. Ordering 3 chicken strips, which they tell you to do on that commercial with the bun, was $7.49.
And it ain't the same chicken, man. If
And
you
it ain't
had
the
that
same
chicken
home
sandwich...
slice. So that sounds like they're upcharging you already, yo. Anyway, I'm talking craziness because this is what this segment is about. And speaking of crazy, how awesome is this? I'm letting y'all know about this right now as we speak. Central Barbecue, they already know this. They're my favorite place in the world. But they're also going to give us a keg for our HDL sponsorship of our baseball year because we're having our I don't know if y'all
Am
know
I
this.
invited, man? What's up?
Well, see,
Talking about kegs.
Yeah, dude.
Come
I'm
on.
gonna ask him. See, I got HDL, and by the way, that's the Hernando de Soto Baseball League for a bunch of old men. It's probably like the longest league here in the city. We're going to Central Barbecue every year, and by the way, there's 4 amazing locations. They got the new bad boy on Poplar, the original on Central, the one on Summer though. if you're renting out a room, bro, I don't know what it is about the one on Summer. I just like how you can get that back room. They got your own private bar. That whole room, it's just perfect.
The new one on Poplar is beautiful.
Oh, it's so pretty. And also they probably have the nicest guy ever in the world working there. Why did I forget his name? How did I forget your name? You know who you are. The nicest guy that's ever walked. Then the one right behind the Civil Rights Museum where I frequent all the time, Central Barbecue, it really is. It's simply the best. They got great barbecue, pulled shoulder. But if you're not a pork guy, don't freak out because they have chicken, the best smoked chicken you've ever had. They also have turkey, the best turkey you've ever had in your life, and wings, baby. And I love their wings. You can get the whole wings. It's got the flat and the drummy. Oh, it's out of control. Central Barbecue, they're simply the best, and they give you Hardwood.
This is SS Hardwood.
Antonio Brown seems to not be out of the woods, huh? I kind of mentioned him in fantasy football because I was wondering if Jimmy was going to go throw it out there. But now all of a sudden, all these people who are going banana sandwiches might actually owe maybe even Austin on Air 56 an apology. Or even maybe me, or heck, I don't know. Again, I wouldn't point any fingers at anyone. But all I know is, I know he's feeling a lot worse today than he was feeling the other day. Because guess what? Prosecutors and police from Pennsylvania and Florida have contacted, that's right, Miss Brittany Taylor. Now, from everything I understand, because in Florida, the accuser claims Brown forcibly raped her in 2018, that one actually seems more likely if there is going to be a charge. Now, in the one in Pittsburgh, the two separate occasions in Pittsburgh area, Brown, sexually assaulted her, whatever. But anyway, from what the prosecutors are alleging, it seems it's more likely that if Brown is to face any charges, and that's if, they're more likely to come from Florida than anywhere else. Just dropping out the news because guess what? The news is constantly dropping on AB. Now, did you see that tweet that I tweeted out with Giselle's car? That wasn't really her driving, but that was...
What kind of car she got?
It was just a... No, did you see the one where there's a car going...
Oh, no, yeah. You said, this is Tom Brady on the way back home after hearing the news.
Somebody was like, dude, that wasn't him driving. Oh, y'all are so silly.
But I don't know if you have seen the Sports Illustrated article by Robert Klimko where they talk about how Antonio Brown just has so many unpaid debts across the country. So many different people. And he has another sexual misconduct allegation. I mean, there's a lot going on, and clearly his behavior in the past few years has been very detrimental to what he's going to do for the rest of his career.
And this is what I wanted to ask you, and this is gonna kind of probably upset some people. After reading that article, and then also after reading a few other articles about some rich dudes and how they don't pay their debts, and they just hire lawyers and have lawyers tell them basically to blank off. Dude, is that how all these rich people are getting rich by just not paying their damn debts? Like, what is going on? If you got money, why you expect a service and then you ain't gonna pay somebody for that service?
Like I saw, he owes $700 for a charity event where there was a charity auction where he won a painting that he hasn't paid for from a charity to help kids in the inner city of Pittsburgh. I mean, dude, there are things that maybe you are not as quick to pay off, but if you're talking about a charity, dude,
come on, Holmes,
wake up.
Just wake up.
But anyways, on some
more lighter. Can we talk about a little more light news? Can we talk about? Wait, hold on. Can I, before you get to this KFC thing, can I ask you, because you know you always get mad at me for checking people for buying diamonds, because again,
you're talking about Deshaun Watson. Huh?
I get so upset. And if anybody would just go to if you go to the University of Memphis, go over to Fogelman, take a damn math class and understand, or take an econ class, that nothing in this world has depreciated like the diamond. Quit spending all your money on diamonds, you morons. Deshaun's like, hey, happy birthday to me, and went and bought $25,000
diamond is rich. Chain. He's rich.
I know.
He's rich.
Buy gold. Gold is going up. Gold is up. Diamonds down. I'm just trying to help you financially, damn it.
What about gold and diamonds together?
I don't want the diamonds. I want the gold. Okay. Just the gold, homie.
Do you want a fried chicken sandwich with 2 glazed donuts on the outside of it. I feel like I would literally have a spontaneous heart attack after
I was getting ready to say right away, there is somebody right now who's pulling out just us talking about it. They're like insulin shot and giving themselves a shot right now. Like,
I don't doubt it.
Oh, God. Quit talking about this, Harden.
Yeah, and then I think they put like a mayo on it. Like, this is...
Whoa.
I was good. No, they put sauce on it.
Ugh, I don't want sauce.
That's what I'm trying to say. I don't understand this
like,
at all.
Wait till you tell me it's going to be like maple syrup.
Look, I know the Luther Burger.
What's the Luther Burger?
It's like, who is it? Is it Luther Vandross?
Wait, are you joking with me?
No, I'm not kidding.
Like Luther or Lucifer?
Luther.
Oh,
Luther.
Okay.
And I think it was made, by Luther Vandross, where you have a burger and there's Krispy Kremes and bacon. It's like, it's actually a beef burger, but they're doing it with fried chicken. Which is like, I don't even think that would be appetizing to me. No, not shooting them down immediately. I'm sure it sounds good to some people, but like, this is something that, why would you put it on your menu unless it was for like a super limited time?
Popeyes.
They need to keep that on their menu. I got one yesterday.
Do you know what they're doing? And by the way, this is what I don't understand. The one right there, like, should I even say this, or am I going to run out? Y'all know the one on Poplar at Colonial. They have chicken sandwiches.
They have chicken sandwiches like
I go there all the time. Like I
got one yesterday. Like I said,
I was in and out in like 4 minutes. Like 4 minutes, homie. And then like you look across the country and people are like sold out everywhere and they're rioting. I'm like, dude, I can't believe I'm saying it, but you know what? We got it going down here in Memphis. Now this is gonna make y'all sad, and I don't want to make y'all sad, but y'all know that I'm a very good friend to the adult film actresses because I support them. I know how hard they work, and I found out how little they were paid.
Yeah, and then the Mia Khalifa thing, that threw me off.
Well, that's not the only thing that you thought that messed you up?
Just know that here on Johnny Radio's Happy Hour, we support those of you that work in adult film.
I support all workers in all upstanding industries. Now, like, if you're a murderer for hire, I'm not going to support you. I mean, I want you to work, but not for that, okay? And that's kind of like a
however you want to make your money. If it's not that, if it doesn't involve crime,
don't sell drugs.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't involve a crime, I will support you.
Or
if it's a legal business.
Well, there are some legal businesses that I really don't like. Actually, there are like dude, all you like. I sure hope we don't have a sponsorship here. You know those dudes that do that like that horrible loan where they just like rip everybody off? You know what I'm talking about? Never mind. I'm just gonna shut up. Jessica James. Yeah, y'all know who Jesse James is, don't you? Do you know who Jessica James is?
Not admittedly, no.
Do you think your girlfriend's listening? No, I'm just kidding.
Maybe.
Dude, I'm really sad though. She died. This is very, very sad because she was like literally I don't even know, like she was 43 years old. Like, bro, 43? I just gotta say, if you're 43 and you're dying from cardiac arrest, I don't know. I just don't think that is like she was walking down the road and all of a sudden had a heart attack. And I don't want to put anything out there because, again, nothing is coming out from law enforcement yet. But for some reason, just at least from my... Oh, yes, and she also did Celebrity Rehab. And she also did, I think, another, what was it called? Vivid Villy with HBO or something? About, like, doing drugs. Anyway, I just think that she probably... I hate saying it.
I mean, it was rough. She had a rough go of it.
She had a rough go.
Her life was rough.
Obviously,
prayers for the family and everything.
Yes.
Make sure she's,
Rest
their
in
family
peace.
handles it. Rest in peace to Jessica James.
And by the way, just so you know, she's credited with 200 adult films.
I always wondered, that's a lot
It's a lot of films, man.
Like, real deal. But we referred to this earlier, but a New York senator, a senator from Brooklyn, Kevin Parker, has proposed a bill earlier this week that would allow college athletes the right to make money off their names, images, and likeness. But this is the difference. There's an amendment within this bill that would require college athletic departments to give 15% share of their annual revenue to student athletes, to all their student athletes, and spread the wealth. I like the likeness. I don't think the school.
Okay, hold on. What was this now?
Yes,
this was the New York one.
This is a New York one. Yes.
Wow, I didn't remember reading that.
Yeah,
I don't think I read that one then. I must have read the other one, South Carolina, maybe.
Yeah, well, that's just the fair play to play in
Okay,
South Carolina.
that's
It's just
same
it's
with
the same thing.
California.
Yeah, it's and the same with this, except he added an extra amendment saying that college athletic departments owe their student athletes 15% of their annual revenue.
No. See, this is. I am not going to take any side on anything. All I wanted to do at the very beginning, from the very beginning, was say that your likeness was not, the university does not own it. You do. It was given to you by your parents and by your creator. Just saying, universities don't own that.
This extra amendment is interesting, I will say.
That extra amendment kind of freaks me out.
Yeah.
Because, again, I'm one, and this might sound selfish, but I think if you're going to be called amateur athletes, I think it should go for the entire school. I don't like the fact that the communications, the journalism, the business, the education, the athletic, that everything is separate, but yet you're all under the umbrella of the University of Memphis, and you all have the same president.
And this is what I thought. I don't think you need to get paid extra by the school. I think you just get the right to your own likeness, and I think that's as fair as we can have it.
And that, by the way, I got to say this, is about as fair as you can get. And in fact, that's fair as fair. Hey, what is that show, Billie Jean? Fair is fair, man. Have you ever seen that? You don't even know what I'm talking about. 67129. Am I on drugs, or is there a show where there's a girl with like short blonde hair? She had long blonde hair to start the show. Then she shaves her head. And then at the very end of it, I think she gives like a hook 'em horn sign and goes, "Fair's fair." And like everybody like goes crazy. And I think this was like one of those awesome 80s movies that I kind of remember. Or I could be like that lady who ate the ring and was having one crazy dream.
We're gonna have to do like eventually a straight no chaser type thing where we ask back and forth about generational gap questions. Like, my era, I ask you questions about my era, and you ask, because half the time I don't even know what the hell you're talking about when you bring up these 80s movies. I am lost.
Like, so
head spinning on this side of the glass.
Do you know who Goldie Hawn is?
I do know who Goldie Hawn is.
Okay, so she was a coach in this movie, by the way. I think it was called like Wildcats, and her team got her a watch, I believe. And at the back, it said, "We love you from the bottom of our," and it was just beautiful. And that was a good 80s movie. But anyway, there's some great 80s movies out there. Hit me up at 67129 and tell me if I'm crazy and that I'm really remembering a movie or I'm remembering some crazy dream. 67129 is the text line. It's the First Bank text line. We'll be back in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. Never forget, MemphisFarmers.com. And this is Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7 FM.
Sports 56 now has 2 FM homes. You can now find real sports talk on 96.1 as well as 87.7 on your FM dial.
Family Leisure has the world's biggest spa sale going on now. Over 50 spas in stock and ready to sell. $8,000 spas now just $44.99. 4-person spas starting at $24.99. Swim spas from $89.99. Huge discounts on all spas. Get the lowest prices of the year with special financing available. It's the world's biggest spa sale happening now at Family Leisure. Whitten Road at I-40, where family and fun come together.
Welcome to Sherwin-Williams.
Hi there. I heard paints are 40% off.
Yep, and stains too.
Right here.
Mm-hmm. Only at your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store.
Right now.
Well, September 20th through 23rd.
Right on.
Right? Ask Sherwin-Williams, September 20th through 23rd, and save 40% on paints and stains, with sale prices starting at $23.09. Only at your local Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Hewlett & Dunn, nestled on Old Town Square in Collierville, has 4,000 square feet of the largest boot selection in 200 miles. International boot legends Luke Casey, Double H, Red Wing, Ariat, Justin, and Tony Lama. Hewlett & Dunn has rubber hunting boots by Dry Shod, and recently has expanded the selection of safety work boots. Filson Hunting Gear, biggest selection in 3 states, and now carrying Duckhead. Western wear, hunting attire, jeans, belts, hats, and more at 111 North Center Street, Collierville on Old Town Square. You need to stop by Hewlett & Dunn, you bet your boots.
Today, business happens here, and virtually anywhere. Because today, innovative companies are reinventing the way business happens, and they need people who can keep up. with the expertise and technology to get packages to over 150 million delivery points. So, who can help you deliver the future of commerce? The United States Postal Service. See why we deliver more e-commerce packages to homes than anyone at USPS.com/future.
Now back to Johnny Radio's Happy Hour. Let's go! On Sports 56 and 87.7 FM. Here's your host, John Harden.
That's what you owe, and we're not turning ourselves in till we get it. Fair is fair. We didn't start this, we didn't mean it to happen, but we're not giving up till you pay. Fair is fair!
Fair is fair! Dude, I thought I was dreaming, but you know what? It really was a 1980s movie that I remember. Gotta love them 80s, don't you? Welcome back to Johnny Radio's Happy Hour. I am your sports mixologist. I am hanging out with a guy who did not grow up in the 80s. He doesn't know any of the references that I give, and it makes it even a little bit more fun, I think. It is my good friend Gabe, who blocked for the University of Memphis some great quarterbacks, and you can follow him on Twitter. It's at G_Coon71. You can follow me at Johnny_Radio, and don't forget to always follow Sports 56, because right now, by the way, if you didn't know, at Sports 56 WHBQ, we are streaming on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Periscope, Facebook, and we got 2 FM channels now, 96.1 and 87.7 FM, and of course, the original gangster, AM 560, and of course, you better have the app, because that will help you get out of the car when we're actually having a really interesting, like this conversation with CJ and Peter. It had me stuck. Things like that happen all the time. What happens when you get stuck? All you have to do is get out your car and just turn it on. By the way, I do have to say, my man Wayne Davis just texted me, a friend of mine who I like to gamble with. Shout out, what's up, Wayne? And by the way, to my man, I hope you're listening. You work for a really nice guy, and you listen to me and Gabe every day, and I was supposed to give you a shout out, and he wrote your name down, and damn it, I lost that piece of paper because my girlfriend washed my shorts. So I couldn't do it. But anyway, Wayne said, Billie Jean, that was a classic. It was a real movie. Fair is fair. Sorry, I'm an idiot, I know. But I'm also coming back to, it's the end of my show, and we have Dave Lotion. We've got Brett Norsworthy, and if you think 80s references were kind of old, well, Gabe, wait, these guys are older than me, buddy. But you know what? Brett, he's got a memory like you wouldn't believe. He's covering, that's right, Ole Miss. You know the voice of the Tigers and Dave, and they're going to drive you from 3 to 6. But before I have to say goodbye, I have to give you some picks because we have day baseball, and I like to talk baseball. I talked earlier about the great things from baseball yesterday. You had Cavan, get hit for the cycle, joining his father as one of the only son-father duos. It's now Gary Ward, Daryl Ward, and Cavan and Craig Biggio. Think about that. That's pretty cool. You also had Carl and Mike. That's right. You had the Yazzes. Mike plays for San Francisco. They go to Boston. Bruce Bochy puts him in left field, bats him leadoff. My man in the 4th inning hits a home run. They win the game in the 15th. It was just awesome. Great moment for the Yaz. Red Sox fans, y'all were just awesome. And we also, of course, have just 2 weeks left of baseball, less than 2 weeks. Playoffs are almost here, and we've got good baseball going on, man. Like, we got the real deal, holy
This
deal.
NL Central race is about to be fun to watch.
Dude, it's
down the stretch.
It's getting crazy.
Cubs and Cardinals play 7 times.
7 times. 7 times to pretty much
That's going to
decide this
make
bad
or
boy.
break that division right there.
There's going to be one fan base that's going to be really happy, and there's going to be one that's really sad. And by the way, speaking of the next show that comes on, Brett, big-time Cardinals fan. Dave, huge Cubs fan. OMG, is that going to be 7 crazy days right there? You don't want to miss any of that. But tonight, you don't want to miss any of this. What do you think I'm talking about? Boston minus 60? The Giants won in 15 last night. Yes, Samardzija is pitching. Chacin hasn't really done jack in Boston, but you know what? He wants to get a win. The Yaz, they didn't mind that Mike got his little day in the sun yesterday. But when you can get this Boston minus 60 after a loss at home, sorry, buddy, you got to take it. It's too low of a number, too good of a team against a team that's really not as good. I know that their record says they're only 5 games under 500, but they don't feel like a 500 ball club. That is the Giants. Now, the Red Sox are 79 and 71. They are still the defending world champs. They ain't going to be it again this year. but they're still pretty talented. I think that they smoked them tonight. That's the first one that I also like. Now I got to tell you another one I like, and I want you to tell me what you think about this one. This one to me looks too easy. So I'm going with the underdog in Ivan Nova in the White Sox against Jake Odorizzi and the Twins. You're getting plus 260? You're going to give me the White Sox and Nova against Minnesota, who sometimes they hit and score like 15, or sometimes they don't hit at all.
Those teams went to 12 innings last night, and the Twins walked off.
Yep, they sure did. So I'm just saying, if I look at that one and I'm thinking Nova, 10-12 on the year, 4.86. I know Odorizzi's a little better, 14-6, but plus 260.
The White Sox have been one of those teams where you get such good return on what you put down on them, and they're good. They got talent, man.
They're not as bad as people would think. You would be a little shocked. Plus Anderson, Abreu, Yan Moncada, Jimenez. They got some ballers. But speaking of ballers, coming up next, we got Dave Voloshin, we got Brett Norsworthy, so you better not touch that dial. And always remember, Central Barbecue is the best barbecue and the best insurance. It's MemphisFarmers.com. Get out there. Make this world a better place. I'll see y'all on the flip side. Peace.
If you're the owner of a company and you're tired of a dirty office building, or maybe you're tired of dirty restrooms, or floors and carpets that are filthy, or windows that you can't even see through, I've got a solution. Let Trinity be your cleaning solution. Trinity